Hello everybody, welcome to Just One Perspective. My name is Josh. Thanks for joining today. I've shifted my angle a little bit here because I pissed off some wasps here in our little cabana, and so I'm just trying to avoid them. I set up some wasp traps, so hopefully that'll take care of them. We have some people coming over next week, so hopefully they're all dead by then. And today's drink of choice is some Constant Comment tea. It's very good. I don't do sugar in it. I do 1 teaspoon of honey, and it makes it perfect. Oh, and I was gifted this very lovely mug, this diner style mug for Route 66. Now there's a question here. There is an ongoing argument in our family right now. Is it pronounced Route 66 or is it pronounced Route 66? Only you can decide in the comments below. I don't know. But I'm going to choose to call it Route 66, even if it's wrong, because it sounds right to me. So, okay. Today what we're talking about are the 5 things that the all-time best developers do. And when I say developers, I'm talking about programmers, right? Writing code, that kind of thing. Not like developers who are building buildings. I'm not talking about those developers. General contractors. Nope. We're talking about the 5 things that the best programmers do, the best programmers of all time, the ones who nobody can ever light a candle to. Is that the right phrase? But number 1, when they join a new team, they assume that the code they've inherited is bad and it needs to be reworked. It needs to be refactored, it needs to be rebuilt, a lot of times from the ground up, because the people before them were just completely incompetent and they need to rewrite everything. Always assume that the code that you've inherited is bad because you're better than the people who wrote it before you. That's one of the things that the best developers do. Number 2, they focus on the functionality that they find most interesting. So you've heard bad things about gold plating. I'm here to tell you that that's what the best developers do. They put as much gold and they plate it with as much gold as possible, and they spend 80% of their time on that final 20% that's really fun. They don't care about the core functionality. That's easy. You can get that done quickly. Who cares? That's not the fun stuff. You want to introduce as many new features of the new programming language version that has been introduced, and you want to pile all that in. And it's a bonus if you can take a block of code that would have been 10 lines and make it 1 line. That's the best, okay? So spend most of your time on the functionality you find most interesting, not what your company is asking you to build, okay? That's what the best programmers do. Number 3, don't make a rollback plan for production deployments. You don't need a plan. Your code is going to be so good that you don't need to worry about it. What is it? I had this hanging up in my cubicle for the longest time to remind me that I was the best programmer out there. I don't always test my code, but when I do it in production, okay? You don't even need to test it, really. Don't test it in a new environment. Test it in the test environment if you want. If you have some extra time in your hands, don't even come up with a rollback plan. There are benign changes to complex environments, and you can make those benign changes. Not a big deal. Just throw it in production, okay? Don't worry about it. Number 4, your code is going to be so good as one of the best developers in the entire world that you don't need to communicate to anybody else. You don't need to tell your boss what you're doing. You don't need to tell your teammates what you're doing. You don't need to attend stand-ups. Those are planning meetings for plebeians, right? That's for people who are bad at coding. You're going to be so good at coding that your code is going to fix everything. You don't even need to plan with other people. You don't need to communicate. You've heard about tossing it over the wall being a bad thing? Not with you, not with your code, because you're so special and your code is so damn good that you don't need to worry about any of that. Other people, doesn't matter what their perspective is. Just build the damn thing and all of the good stuff will follow. And anybody who disagrees and who doesn't see it your way is wrong. Remember that. That could be a bonus one. That could be 4A, right? Okay, so number 4, you don't need to talk to other people. Don't communicate. And number 5, don't pay attention to your boss. That guy's an idiot. You're smarter than him or her. You don't need to listen to what he says. Everything that he tells you to do is dumb, right? You're smarter than that guy. You're smarter than that gal. Just write the code. Don't test it until it's in production, right? Have fun with the code It doesn't matter how much time you're taking, overwork yourself, right? Don't talk to anybody, and just know that your code is the best. So there you go. The 5 things the best developers in the entire world do. Obviously, I'm being facetious. These are some of the worst things that I see developers do, and I see them do it constantly on a constant basis, and they all think they're different. They all think they're smarter than everybody else. They all think that none of this applies to them, but they forget the human aspect. They forget the human element. They are so driven by hubris. They come in, they think that the code they've inherited is bad. They have no idea what the previous developers went through. They have no idea what was being asked of them. They have no idea what the time crunch was. They just come in and look at a block of code that isn't written the same way that they would do it and assume it's bad. And guys, I'm telling you, okay, everything I told you, don't do any of this stuff. Show some humility. Show some humility. People are sick to death of the programmer who knows everything, okay? Who's the best in the world. You know what? You want some ice cream? I would trade 5 moderate developers with some humility who know some of their stuff but don't know everything for 1 developer who knows it all, okay? And what I mean by that is I'd rather have 5 of them. Hell, rather have 1 developer who's a mid-range developer who has some humility than 5 all-time great developers who think they know everything and who are really good, right? A lot of times I've seen these people be really, really good. They know their stuff. They know the programming language inside and out. They know how it's going to affect memory and how it's going to affect, performance and how it's going to even affect the load balancer and all that kind of stuff. They've got it down pat, but they just plow through. They don't talk to anybody and they mess things up. They get it wrong because they think they know everything, and then I take them off my team. They're out, right? Don't want them. It's like the star player in basketball who always shoots and sinks some threes, but never sees the open floor, never sees the open court, has no court awareness, no idea how to be on a team. I am not interested, and neither is your organization. I guarantee it. So think about that. Let me know if you have a different perspective. As always, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you all next time. Stay vigilant out there. Noise ordinance. I don't care if you're bringing ice cream, delicious, tasty ice cream. Jarvis is over there. He's cocking his head. This is gonna have to be an outtake. He's stuck at the damn light. There's a light here, a pedestrian light. I'll just wait. The ice cream wagon, how cute. Let me just sip my tea and get back to it.